Live from Coca Vision, exclusively on
This
TIDAL.
is
You can go to TIDAL right
Disco
now, subscribe 3 months
to
free.
angels,
Live from El Chapo's
starlets,
tunnel. We talking
King
about
of
motherfucking
diamonds,
cancer,
Yep.
hip hop, healthcare.
And I love this man.
G5, you know,
Too
strip
much.
clubs worldwide.
Oh, pick it up,
Oh,
pick it
my that
up,
pussy, pick it up.
pick it up,
Bitch, turn it over, pick it up.
pick it up.
Well, drug tunnels under the border. Mexican cartels have dug them to funnel their product into our country.
Oh, yeah,
Salam alaikum, Joe. Whenever you're in Dubai, we have a zoo in the house. We got tigers called Tiger and Kylie.
What up,
This
y'all?
is-
Welcome to Coca Vision, the only vision that counts. Live from El Chapo Tunnel, from Mexico back to Texas. You know what this is. Today I got a very, very special guest. I'm very biased. He's actually my brother, one of my most favorite people on the planet Earth. The one and only Pretty Lou. He's the voice of New York. But we give Angie Martinez that you are
course,
the
of course,
voice
she's
of New York City nightlife.
Right.
Right? One of my biggest secret weapons, but not no more. But when I knew I was coming back with an album with Remy, you know, I was going around to all the clubs, and every night I was sitting in there, I was looking at Pretty Lou. There's a difference in climate and temperature when Lou comes on stage. He does mostly strip clubs, but all kind of clubs. Now he does stadiums.
Oh, everything.
Right?
Bar mitzvahs.
So when he turned
Baby
around and he touched the mic, I was like, yo, I need Pretty Lou on my team, even though we've been friends over 20 years. What made you fall in love with hip hop from day one?
What made me fall in love with hip hop? When I heard my first Boogie Down production record.
KRS-One, Boogie Down
KRS-One.
Production.
He was like one of my biggest hip hop artists when I was growing up in high school. From junior high school into high school, it was like I had to listen to a BDP record.
That's my idol, you know what I mean? So you know KRS-One is different for me, man. He saved my life just by making music and inspiring me.
And going to one of his shows is what actually started the hosting of Pretty Lou's career.
Yeah,
I went.
He's the best stage performer to me
went-
in hip hop.
I went to go see him perform with Broadway at the Old Fever in the Bronx. I was only 16
I
years
probably
old.
do that. I think I threw that show.
Probably.
You know, I was rapping. I was promoting shows too.
Right,
at
right,
the
right.
Fever.
Right.
You know,
I was-
I gave Biggie Smalls his first show
Nice.
ever. Paid
Didn't even
show
know that.
ever. Fat Joe the promoter. I got the flyer. I'll throw it up in the IG if you want. Pretty Lou, you in the lean back video, right?
Super skinny.
I mean, you know, you eating good, man.
He's good now.
I got to cut the chase and say, I love you not only just because of you, but because of the fight that you're fighting in your life.
Right.
You're fighting cancer, not just any cancer, leukemia. And you get up every day, and one of the most classics. I'm not gonna say, you know, let me not be crazy because people will kill me. I'm not gonna say you're as phenomenal as Malcolm X.
Right.
But the legendary picture of Malcolm X looking out the window, that's how I feel with the picture that you going like this to the chemo, fuck cancer. Right? I got that in my, every day I'm in an airplane or something, I look at the shit and I'll be like, yo, this is a powerful thing. How did you find out you had cancer?
I found out. I remember it was the summer, three years ago, and you know, like ordinary, you know, we get sick, nothing about it. Especially us, like in this industry, you know, we don't think about doctors and nothing like that. All we think about is we gotta go get that bag and do our job, and that's basically it. But I saw that during the summertime, me getting like I hardly get sick. Before I got cancer, I hardly get. If I do get sick, I get sick once a year. Like I hit the bed hard and that's it. But I noticed that I was getting sick in the summer, which rarely happens. I was getting sick, and I started noticing that I started getting black and blues in my body for no apparent reason. And then I started noticing I was getting fatigue a lot. I was getting tired a lot. I was getting black and blues. And then I also noticed that a lot of, like, I would get little cuts and it wasn't it wasn't healing properly. Like, it was taking some time, and I'm like, why is this taking so much time?
That happens with diabetes too.
Right, exactly. So
I was personally a diabetic when I was a little kid.
You told me then
when I was like 14, and when I
Change
lost
your
all my
diet.
weight, changed my diet, you know, thank God the diabetes left. You know, I got a friend right now named Goldo. He worked in Cat's Deli for so many years. They chopped off some of his toes from diabetes.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's nothing to be fucked with.
No,
but
definitely
with
not.
the cancer, how long it took for the doctor to tell you, yo, look, you got cancer?
Well, what happened was, make a long story short, my mother made me go to the doctor, got checked. The next 24 hours later, they called me up, told me to come back, found out that my blood cell levels was on -0. Like, I was a corpse. I was a walking corpse. I was maybe minutes or hours away from going to a cardiac arrest. Took me straight to the hospital. They put me on in a little intense coma. Mm-hmm. So I don't feel them giving me more blood and everything. Mm-hmm. When I finally woke up, I was in a hospital in Brooklyn, New York, and I was there for like 3 weeks. They couldn't find out exactly what I had because it was so rare. Mm. So thank God for the doctor that was taking care of me in Brooklyn. They transferred me to New York Presbyterian uptown.
We love that hospital.
Love that.
They show you too much love.
The best.
I go all the time when Lou's admitted. I go over there. I light the place up. You know what I mean? I tell my jokes. You know what I'm saying? I turn into a fucking stand-up comic. Just to get my brother over the pain. Even though I can't do it. So you went over there. What happened?
Went over there and they got me with a specialist, and that's when maybe 48 hours later from being there, is when they told me I had this rare disease called LGL leukemia.
What's it called?
LGL leukemia.
Lou, man, I've been there when you've been for the big treatment. What's the name of the big treatment?
It's a treatment called Compath.
Now, Compath, describe to the people how you feel when you're going through this process, because you already told me, and it scared the shit out of me, and I was just like, wow, I can't fucking believe this. You know what I mean? How do you feel when you're going through this process?
I never got thrown into a icy river. When it's iced up. I never
like the Hudson River now after the snows
right now
freezing.
with the snow and everything's iced up. I never. But I can imagine what it felt when I was getting that into my veins. It felt like somebody threw me into an icy river, and just the ice is just taking your body and your bones, and it's just destroying everything inside you.
The shit that fucks me up, right, is when you describe that your bones feel like somebody got a wrench, and they doing like this. They squeezing your
They're
shit.
just squeezing. It feel like your insides is getting squeezed out, and you can't do nothing about it.
You hold this thought. This is why I tell everybody, every day that you're healthy, every day we think we got stress, we think we got problems. We don't really have that bad of a problem. The day you get a phone call, God forbid, and you hear, yo, you got cancer, it all changes, right, Lou?
Your life, everything. Everything.
Yo, you got cancer.
Everything changes. It's up to you how you take it. That's how I see it.
Talk to them people. How you take it.
In the beginning, I took it like a death sentence. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie. When somebody tells you have cancer, automatically all you think about is, that's it. I'm done. I'm gonna live my life until it takes me. Mm-hmm. But I took it differently. What I did was, I took it to a mentality that I was like, all right, I have a disease, but just because I have it, it's not going to stop my life. At the end of the day, I still have 3 children that I have to think about. I have a family that I have to think about.
I've seen you come out of treatment and go host 4 clubs in one night. How the fuck do you have this energy after getting chemotherapy to host 4 different clubs? And them shits be in Manhattan, Brooklyn, and I don't know how you do this, Lou.
I did it one time, go chemo, and I went to the stage with you.
How do you do this shit, man?
I love what I do.
So it's true when
just-
they say it's not a job when you do what you love to do.
Yeah, it's definitely true.
Let me tell you something. You are a warrior. You are a rebel. You're war ready. And the reason why I admire you is because I know that you inspire thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And we really need you as a culture to beat this disease.
Right.
Because you are living testimony. Everybody, your life is an open book. It's so documented that you're having this fight with cancer and you fight every night and everybody loves you. Everybody, we want you to win so bad because you're gonna inspire. Because I believe when it comes to disease, I don't know if I'm as tough as you.
Right.
Thank God I haven't had to go through that. I do not know if I'm as tough as you.
Right.
Everybody can act like they tough.
Right.
You walking that shit. You walking that walk. That's a serious thing you doing. But not only that, you let the world in on it and you say, fuck cancer. We do your birthday party. It's sold out in 3 minutes. And everybody's in there with shirts, fuck cancer. Everybody riding with you, Lou. So it's crucial that you survive this. You know, I want to know, how do you feel when you see somebody posted up they just died of cancer?
Oh no, it could be a stranger, somebody I never met. And I called you a couple times when I hear of somebody who passed away, even if I didn't know the person. It hits me hard. It hits me hard. But I always
see
say
you keep going. I see
Right.
you keep going.
It-
Rest in peace, Combat Jack.
Yes.
Combat Jack caught
Great.
cancer and called Lou and had Lou by his bedside. And I know that fucked you up.
messed me up.
That was the
Yes.
one that fucked you up.
Yeah.
I seen you survive and just
It
be
put me-
like,
it put
all
me
right,
in a-
Joe, you know
it-
I'm a fighter. I'm good. But that one put you in a bad space.
That one put
I
me in a
heard
black
it in your
hole.
voice.
Yeah, that one put me in a black hole for like 2-3 days. And you know,
Yeah.
I had to isolate myself
I
a little
can't-
bit.
I can't imagine to have that type of courage that you have to work hard. You still the sole provider for your family.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes. Still.
Your mother is the realest
day.
mother in the world. She's there with you every single time
Mm-hmm.
you go through anything. You know, my mother's a cancer survivor.
Right.
She
God bless
survived
her.
20-something years later, thank God, after having throat cancer. They cut my mother from this side of her neck to this side of her neck. When she came out of surgery, her head looked like a basketball. Her tongue was this thick. She can't talk no more. She talks through the trach.
Right.
You understand? So I know cancer. And I know how hard it is to beat. And we riding with you. A question I want to ask you. Donald Trump.
And man, I take that man's name personally to a hate. I don't hate on nobody. I don't hate on the man personally. I just hate the way he wants to portray himself and take this United States of America, especially when you play with people's health care. I could be Pretty Lou. I could be the biggest host in New York. I could be one of the biggest voice in the streets and do radio and do stadiums and do clubs and everything. But at the end of the day, I'm still Lou, the person, because I have to maintain my health care. In the beginning, I didn't have health care. in this industry,
We ain't got health care.
right, we don't got unions. There's no union.
We need to get health care, guys.
Right, we need to get health care. And I didn't have that. So in the beginning, it was a struggle. Finally, when I finally got my health, and I'm not going to sit here and Obamacare.
You need hair care.
Obama,
you need health care.
Right, Obamacare helped
You need
me.
health care.
Yes.
Fuck that. You need health care. You can't afford it. You hosting the million clubs and everything by yourself. You cannot afford the treatment for the cancer.
Right.
Yes or no?
No.
You just can't.
You can't.
I can't. Fat Joe couldn't do it. Fat Joe the rapper couldn't do it.
You can't.
If I didn't have insurance, I cannot afford it.
That's right. So I'm not ashamed of Obamacare because Obamacare,
Fuck that.
you know what I'm saying? Like, in my personal opinion, helped me out 100%.
Of course it did.
But then
Because you can have a pre-existing condition and they give you insurance.
Right.
Before that, they ain't give a fuck if you had cancer,
none of that.
getting your legs cut off. They didn't give a fuck what you was doing. You was going to the hospital and throw your ass right back in the street.
Right. But now you want to come into this position that you're in and know the fact, you're not knowing what people are going through out there, and now you want to take away what we finally have, especially minorities.
All right, it's getting real deep. Dave Chappelle has a segment in the show. I was the first rapper to be on there.
Right.
It's called When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong. What have you went through in your life where you said keeping it real is definitely gone wrong?
Oh man, keeping it real, definitely going wrong. Anything?
Anything.
Well, in the position that I'm in, especially now that I'm doing radio, when keeping it real goes wrong is when you keeping it real to artists that give you music and you're honest with them, straightforward, and tell them the truth and not be a yes man, and they still feel like you have three heads. And you're not and they still feel like,
Let me ask you a
you're
question.
wrong.
A lot of drug dealers in the club. A lot of hustlers, they'll remain anonymous. Every drug dealer has a fucking artist, and every drug dealer is a killer. Right? What happens when they say, yo, Pretty Lou, play my nigga shit, B? Put my shit on now. You know what I'm saying? I need to hear my nigga shit. And you in the club, you keep getting it cranked up. Has that ever happened to you?
A couple of times. But I've been honest with them.
What you tell
I
them?
don't have no control of that.
I'm not feeling that.
I'm not feeling it. I'll pull them to the side and I tell them the truth.
Hey, yo, Pretty Lou, I love you on another level. Not just because of, I love you on a personal level, but I know that this is so important that this is being documented to our community. So I know what you stand for, man, and that's why I pray for you so much. And I want you to win your battle.
Thank you.
And I know you'll win your battle, because you're gonna give people the strength to fight it that never had the strength. When you win, kids are gonna say, yo, Pretty Lou did it. Fuck that. I could do it. Thank you for coming.
Of course. I just want to say one thing, right, before we go. And I want to address it because I know people are going to see this. A lot of people always come up to me and tell me, oh, Lou, you're doing too much. Lou, you need to calm down. Lou, you need rest. Lou, you need this. Lou, please don't do that. But what people don't understand is that everybody's different. This is what keeps me going, what I'm doing now, especially speaking about it. You know what I'm saying? Because one of my biggest fears, and to put it out there in the world, one of my biggest fears, I don't want to fail to the people who do support me and who do say that I am their inspiration. I don't want to fail to them.
You're not gonna
My goal in life is not, of course, everybody's goal is to be something. But in reality, my goal is to show the people that think that cancer is a death sentence, but my goal is to show them it's not. Regardless of what you're going through, anything you're going through in life.
May your darkest moments bring you your most clarity.
That's right.
That's when you know who's with you. That's when you know what you got. And I believe that God puts us all through different struggles in life for what comes out of the long run.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You're being used right now. And you say, why me? But you're being used right now to help thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Live from Coca Vision, exclusively on TIDAL. You can go to TIDAL right now, subscribe 3 months free. Live from El Chapo's tunnel. We talking about motherfucking cancer, hip hop, healthcare.
And I love this man.
Too much. You know.
Too
Strip
much.
clubs worldwide.
Oh, pick it up,
Oh,
pick it
my
up,
pussy, pick it up.
pick it up.